prices of petrol and diesel are expected to go up further to 18 cedis and 20 cedis per litre by the middle of November. That's according to the Institute for Energy Security. It is also projecting a further increase in the price of liquefied petroleum gas despite 1.43% fall in the commodity on the world market. Fuel prices went up twice in the month of October as some oil marketing companies are selling petrol at 16 cedis 94 pesos, while diesel is also going for 18 cedis 76 pesos. Nana Mwisi the 7th is the executive director of the IES, and he spoke earlier on the marketplace.
When it comes to fuel price computation, it's largely hinged on international fuel prices, as well as your domestic foreign exchange markets. Over the last 2 weeks, ending 28 October 2022, we saw the Ghana cedis decline in value at a significant rate. Then also on the international markets, diesel increased by more than 13%. And so international prices did not bode well for us. We couldn't manage our own cedi against the importing currency, the US dollar, and that will have to be priced in for the oil marketing companies from the BDC. And so when the BDC sell to them at a higher rate because of the Forex exposure and international price exposure, you know for sure that the OMCs will also have to translate same or similar margins to the consumer. And so by up to the mid of next month or November, we are sure that fuel prices may go up because of international fuel prices increase and also the decline in value of our own local currency. On the international markets, LPG's price declined, though marginally. One would have expected that this marginal decrease in international price of LPG would have translated to savings for the Ghanaian consumer. But because of the significant decline in value of our own currency or the depreciation of the cedi, that's savings for the consumer may not be realized.
Meanwhile, some oil marketing companies have assured of constant availability of petroleum products even in the wake of the global crisis. Michael Buzumbil is chief executive of oil marketing firm Petrosol.
For us as a company, I think our focus has been, one, product availability. In times like these, what we have sought to do is to protect the consumer in terms of regular supply of petroleum products. Mind you, we have a retail network of about 120 stations across the country. About 70 of them, are in peri-urban communities. And our task is to make sure that all these communities have regular supply of petroleum products, notwithstanding the fact that working capital requirement has increased significantly. The next, for us as Petrosol, and I believe the regulator is listening, we do not compromise on quality. You see, because sometimes the tendency is for the consumer to be looking at the price as it is displayed on the notice, or the billboard. But what is even more dangerous is that you buy cheap product and then you end up spending so much to repair your vehicle, much more than the savings you've made by buying, cheaper product.
Moving on to some other stories, the Private Enterprises Federation is calling for the imposition of license on imports to regulate and ensure that importation is reduced. According to its chief executive, Nana Sebonso, imports must be justified such that they do not compete with local products. He was speaking at the launch of the 3rd Annual Youth Entrepreneurship Summit and Expo.
The Annual Youth Entrepreneurship Summit and Expo, the 3rd edition, is expected to help startups maneuver the business environment amid growing economic crisis. Speaking at the launch, Chief Executive of Private Enterprises Federation, Nana Osei-Bonsu, urged government to enact import licensing to help achieve this. He is optimistic it would increase local patronage.
import license is just to find ways to tell the authorities that yes, indeed, it's needed in the country, it's not available. But when we have things that are available in volumes, and people are bringing them and undercutting the pricing locally so the local people cannot even compete. That is why it's necessary in other areas that they put import licenses in place, come and justify the need to bring this here to use our valuable and limited resources, so at least it becomes beneficial to the country. It's not like you're bringing something, pillows upon pillows upon pillows, that will not be needed maybe for the next 10 years, and still you use our foreign exchange to do. So import license is a word that, sometimes people don't understand it and don't appreciate. But we don't say impose import license in every which ways. But as the president indicated, we have to limit our exposure.
Chief Executive of Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, Sharif Gali, said this year's edition seeks to project the concerns of young entrepreneurs.
For the previous years, it has been successful. And this year, like you said, given the economic challenges, we think that this is the time for the young people to even be heard. Nobody listening to us. So the summit is going to give the young people the opportunity to talk about what is affecting them and what we think government should really do to also support us. So we are expecting at least above 200 young entrepreneurs, including stakeholders that will be joining us from the public and private sector and the international platform as well.
The third annual Youth Entrepreneurship Summit and Expo will be held in the Ashanti region from 7th December to 11th December.
Now, the Bank of Ghana has pledged its commitment to ensure the speedy implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. According to the central bank, the Russia-Ukraine conflict has had a major impact on the smooth takeoff of the agreement, thereby impeding trade facilitation among member countries. Director of Governance Department at the Bank of Ghana, Eric Cranting, was optimistic there will be soon a major boost of trading on the continent. He spoke to Joy Business at the opening of the West African Institute of Economic Management in Accra.
Now, but the bank in general has been embarking on financial literacy programs. I mean, you as journalists, you know much about it. That is the bank's main objective, to make sure that people understand economic projects and economic issues so that the reportage is appropriate, you understand, so that by so doing you also educate the rest of the population. That is very important. Beyond that, I mean, Bank of Ghana is the national institution. We have a lot of responsibilities, and whenever we are called upon, depending on how it relates to our mandate, I mean, we'll definitely be up to the task and provide the necessary support. Well, AfCFTA has been on the drawing board for some time now. We want to see it move. You understand? We expect AfCFTA to emancipate the continent, one way or the other. But here we are all victims of Russia, Ukraine, etc. I think if we are able to boost trade among ourselves, I mean, we'll be in a position to, get over some of these issues, and then also see to our own development instead of always trying to rely on trade with international institutions, etc. So we are all keen on seeing it take off.